Bad actors will use AI to steal sensitive data. Elon Musk is not the Antichrist. The resulting distribution of wealth and income could exacerbate existing inequalities. The idea of personal tokens has the potential to bring about positive change. It would not be possible to use cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Bitcoin.
Hello guys, Ivan KV is here and welcome to Shark Numbers. Artificial intelligence, AI, has gained significant popularity and is widely adopted in a variety of different industries, including finance. AI is expected to grow and play an increasingly important role in shaping our future. The increasing demand for AI-powered solutions is driving the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence. In this video, I interviewed AI. We discussed, if I can call it a discussion, several topics, including future of crypto and AI, the subject of abundance and poverty, the topic of personal digital assets, and other topics that seemed extremely important to me. I must admit, I have learned a couple of things from this conversation, and artificial intelligence is no longer a keyword. It is a phenomenon that exists and populates every corner of the tech world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with artificial intelligence. Without further ado, let's get rolling. What is the future of cryptocurrencies and AI?
The future of cryptocurrencies and AI is likely to be intertwined, as the two technologies have the potential to greatly impact each other and the wider world. Cryptocurrencies are based on decentralized ledger technology, known as blockchain, which has the potential to revolutionize industries beyond finance, such as supply chain management and voting systems. With the growth of cryptocurrencies, it is likely that more businesses will adopt blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, increasing their usage and acceptance. AI, on the other hand, is expected to play a major role in the future of cryptocurrencies. AI algorithms can be used to improve the efficiency and security of blockchain systems, making them more reliable and scalable. AI can also be used to analyze large amounts of data to identify patterns and trends in the cryptocurrency market, which could be valuable information for investors. Overall, the future of cryptocurrencies and AI is one of growth, innovation, and collaboration, as the two technologies are set to impact a range of industries and change the way we interact with money and data.
Let's continue discussing cryptocurrencies. Do you think that in the near future, bad actors will be able to use AI to steal sensitive data or hack protocols that make financial transactions possible?
Yes, it is possible that bad actors will use AI to steal sensitive data or hack protocols in the future of cryptocurrencies. AI can be used to automate and scale malicious activities, making them much more effective and dangerous. For example, AI algorithms could be used to target specific weaknesses in blockchain protocols or to automate phishing attacks. However, it is also possible that AI will be used to improve the security of cryptocurrencies. AI algorithms can be trained to detect and prevent malicious activities, such as hacking and fraud, by analyzing large amounts of data and identifying unusual patterns of behavior. Additionally, AI can be used to develop more secure and sophisticated blockchain protocols, making it more difficult for bad actors to compromise the systems. In conclusion, AI has the potential to both help and harm the security of cryptocurrencies. It is important for developers and security experts to continue to stay ahead of the curve and develop new techniques to prevent AI-powered attacks.
1, 2, 3.
People approach me all the time. People ask me the same question over and over again. How can I trade profitably? It would certainly be cool if anyone could make 100x per month trading coins and tokens. Unfortunately, life is not simple. To become a professional trader, you need to gain knowledge. And what if you don't have time for that? What can you do? I have the answer for you. I united a group of professional traders, and together we have developed an indicator that could help you trade profitably. This indicator, which we called 1000x indicator, is the result of the hard work and dedication of the top traders in the crypto space. Our script analyzes tons of data, determines support and resistance levels, measures market volatility, determines if an asset is overpurchased or oversold, and works with many other data points. We worked hard. Our goal was to make this indicator show profitable signals most of the times, and the results were incredible. Just take a look at this. This indicator works perfectly. When you see the green zone, it's time to buy. When you see the red zone, the trend is bearish. Fire in the green area means that the asset is overpurchased. In the red zone, fire means that the asset is oversold. You can also see historic levels of support and resistance on the chart. When I select Ethereum USDT pair, the indicator shows that I could make around 3-4% in profit daily. This indicator shows similar results with most of the pairs. To minimize risks, you can always check the indicator's previous performance. It works perfectly with the majority of reputable coins and tokens. Here is what you need to do to use this indicator. First, sign up on tradingview.com. If you don't have an account, please sign up. You could create a free account on TradingView. Our indicator will work with free TradingView accounts. Now go on sharknumbers.com and purchase one of our plans. Once you pick a plan of your choice, you will then be redirected to the form. Please fill out the form and make a payment. Use the crypto of your choice. We have many options available. An important side note, make sure you copy and paste your username from TradingView correctly, otherwise our system will have difficulties finding you. Finally, when the payment is cleared, go back on TradingView, click on Indicators, invite only scripts, select 1000x indicator, and enjoy using our product. Let me execute one trade and show you how easy the entire process is. Let me show you how this indicator works in real time. I just entered the green zone. I immediately purchased the asset. Now the asset got overheated. I am going to sell it. Done. I just made 1.28% in just 2 hours and 15 minutes. You could always take chances and wait for a bit longer, but I wanted to minimize risks, so I exited here. I'm going to try to use this indicator once again, but this time around, I will be trading on 30-minute candles. Let's test it out again, but this time we will do it on 30-minute candles, as I already mentioned. I click on buy because we just entered the green zone. And sell. Plus 3.73%, and it took me 7 hours. This indicator is not for everyone. This indicator for people who dream big. This indicator is for winners. We give you tools, we give you knowledge, and it's time for you to make profits. If you want to give it a try, go on sharknumbers.com and get your 1000x indicator. Anyone who buys the Moon plan before the end of this week will get 3 months of free indicator use. The early bird gets the worm. Now let's go to the moon. Do most crypto enthusiasts buy cryptocurrencies out of fear of missing out? A lot of people are educated and make rational decisions when it comes to trading and investing, but many people are driven by fear. And I feel like big media has to do with it. Big media is injecting information into people's minds. Do you agree with my statements?
Your statements raise interesting points about the role of media and big players in the cryptocurrency market. The media does have a significant impact on shaping public opinion and influencing investment decisions. And it's true that large corporations, including hedge funds, may have a vested interest in controlling the narrative around cryptocurrencies. However, it's also worth noting that many individuals buy cryptocurrencies because they believe in the underlying technology, such as blockchain, and see it as a way to diversify their investment portfolios. Additionally, the increasing adoption of cryptocurrencies by businesses and governments suggests that they are seen as more than just a passing trend. In conclusion, the reasons for investing in cryptocurrencies are likely to be complex and multifaceted, with media, big players, and individual beliefs all playing a role. It is important for investors to do their own research and make informed decisions, rather than simply following media or market trends.
Let's talk about the tech. What is the next step for blockchain tech? What will be the next logical step in the evolution of blockchain and distributed ledgers?
The next step for blockchain technology is likely to be increased adoption and integration with other technologies. As blockchain becomes more widely accepted and understood, it is likely to be used in a growing number of industries and applications, from supply chain management to voting systems. Another area of growth for blockchain technology is likely to be in the development of more sophisticated and secure protocols. As blockchain technology continues to mature, it will be important for developers to address existing weaknesses and improve the scalability and reliability of the systems. Additionally, there is likely to be increased integration between blockchain and other cutting-edge technologies, such as AI and the Internet of Things, IoT. For example, AI algorithms could be used to analyze and secure blockchain systems, while blockchain could be used to secure and manage data generated by IoT devices. In conclusion, the next step in the evolution of blockchain and distributed ledgers is likely to be increased adoption and integration with other technologies, as well as the continued development of more secure and sophisticated protocols.
You mentioned sophisticated and secure protocols. I want to dive deep in the subject. When we push the blockchain tech further to the subsequent adoption level, and we develop protocols that could help us speed up already existing processes, such as token swapping and automated market making, when bridges between blockchains become more secure and form an advanced ecosystem that would allow us to transfer coins and tokens between the chains in a matter of seconds, when fintech apps have more intuitive UI, will at that point people and small businesses begin creating their own tokens on a more regular basis? Do you think that it is possible that in the near future, retail stores, barbershops, restaurants, and medical offices will begin accepting payments in their own tokens? And if customers don't have certain coins or tokens to pay for certain products and services, would those customers just be able to instantly exchange digital assets via more advanced protocols and apps and clear transactions instantly?
It is certainly possible that as blockchain technology continues to advance and become more accessible, small businesses and individuals may begin creating their own tokens. With the development of more sophisticated protocols and the increased ease of use of blockchain technology, it may become more feasible for small businesses to create and manage their own tokens. In regards to small businesses accepting payments in their own tokens, it would depend on several factors, including the level of trust in the token and the ease of use for customers. If the token is secure, reliable, and widely accepted, it is possible that small businesses may begin to adopt it as a payment method. Additionally, if the fintech apps and interfaces for using blockchain become more intuitive and user-friendly, it may become easier for small businesses and consumers to use tokens for everyday transactions. However, it's worth noting that the widespread adoption of small business-created tokens would also require significant changes in the regulatory landscape, as well as wider public awareness and understanding of cryptocurrencies. The future of small business-created tokens and their use as a payment method will depend on a range of factors, including advancements in blockchain technology, regulatory developments, and public adoption and trust.
You mentioned the regulatory landscape. Many politicians, especially in the US, operate from the principle of a zero-sum mentality, Many political figures believe that the government will have more by taking more from people and businesses. One party's gain would be another's loss, right? However, zero-sum thinking will take us nowhere. People get less motivated to work, and companies are less interested in hiring when too many restrictions are imposed. Is it possible to convince politicians that adopting personal digital assets is a win-win situation? Think this way: instead of a dollar that is heavily controlled by a small group of people in charge of the printer, we could have a variety of assets. We could create an entirely new ecosystem in which, instead of one main government-issued currency, we have a variety of digital assets swapped and used daily. All this could be possible with advanced bridges, enough liquidity in the pools, and apps with intuitive UI. What do you think about the mentioned concept? Could it be the way toward abundance?
The concept of personal digital assets and the use of tokens as a payment method is certainly an interesting one, and there are certainly potential benefits to this approach, including increased financial innovation and the creation of new opportunities for small businesses and individuals. However, convincing politicians and the government to shift towards tokenization will likely be a challenging task. While some regulators have shown a willingness to embrace the technology and explore its potential, others have been more skeptical and cautious. This is in part due to concerns about security and the potential for illegal activity, such as money laundering and fraud. In order to convince regulators to embrace tokenization and personal digital assets, it will be important to demonstrate the benefits of this approach and to address concerns about security and risk. This could involve working with regulators to develop clear and effective rules and regulations, and to develop and implement robust security measures to protect users and prevent illegal activities. While the concept of personal digital assets and the use of tokens as a payment method has the potential to create a new and dynamic financial ecosystem, the road to adoption is likely to be a long and challenging one, requiring significant efforts to educate regulators, address concerns, and build trust.
What if we convince politicians that it's time to invest in our future? It's time to invest in our youth. We can encourage people, especially young professionals, to create personal tokens and sell services or goods for those unique digital coins and tokens associated with particular professionals, individuals, or small businesses. This way, each plumber, each teacher, each nurse, and each procurement specialist would be motivated to perform better. Corporations could also pay salaries in personal tokens. Any currency would just automatically convert into Eliza coin, Bob coin, Clarissa coin, Emily coin, you name it, on the day when salaries have to be paid. With each service purchase, the service provider's token price would increase. If I'm a small business owner, with each service purchase, my service provider's token price would increase. And with that, my net worth would go up instantly. We could give a lot of power to regular people. Regular people with no financial background would become millionaires and billionaires on paper. Sure, there will not be enough liquidity in those tokens, but the fully diluted market capitalization of each personal asset would be measured in millions and billions of dollars. Think this way: more people could become millionaires on paper. This feeling alone would boost confidence in individuals, especially young individuals. It is important to notice because our future is our youth. The world would mint millionaires and billionaires with just this approach alone. It would also be beneficial for angel investors and VCs instead of investing in meaningless stores of value. Isn't it better to invest in individuals and the personal tokens associated with those individuals? Isn't it ultimately beneficial for any government, for any society? With more motivated and healthy people worldwide, we could eliminate poverty. We could push progress much further. What do you think?
The proposal you mentioned involves creating a system of personal tokens for individuals and small businesses as a means of incentivizing performance and creating a new asset class for investment. While this idea has the potential to create new opportunities for wealth creation, there are also several challenges and potential drawbacks that would need to be addressed. One challenge would be the lack of liquidity in the market for these personal tokens, as you mentioned. For individuals to be motivated by the increase in the value of their token, there would need to be a robust market where these tokens can be traded and redeemed for other assets. Another challenge would be the regulatory environment. Governments around the world have varying levels of regulations and oversight for cryptocurrencies and other digital assets, and creating a new class of personal tokens would likely require a significant amount of regulatory intervention and oversight. Additionally, there are concerns about the fairness and accessibility of such a system. Not everyone has the skills, resources, or opportunity to create and sell services or goods in exchange for these personal tokens, and the resulting distribution of wealth and income could exacerbate existing inequalities. While the idea of creating personal tokens as a way to incentivize performance and create new opportunities for wealth creation is intriguing, it would require careful consideration and planning to address the challenges and potential drawbacks of such a system.
You mentioned fairness and accessibility. With personal tokens, nonprofit organizations and people unable to work could accept donations in their own unique tokens, something like Help Kids Coin. Those willing to donate would instantly exchange whatever currency they own and are eager to contribute to the personal asset of a particular foundation or a specific individual. This model would give more transparency and allow people to receive help directly, bypassing all the bureaucratic levels. Also, you don't have to own a personal token. People willing to help could send donations in their digital assets. Then the receiver would exchange donated funds into the currency of their choice. What do you think about that?
The concept of personal tokens has potential to provide a new way of funding and supporting various initiatives and individuals. By allowing direct contributions to specific causes or people, it could increase transparency and efficiency in the donation process. Additionally, by tying the value of a token to a specific individual or organization, it could create a new way for people to support and invest in their chosen causes. However, it's important to consider the practical implementation and regulation of such a system. There could be potential challenges in terms of security and stability of the tokens, as well as issues with managing and distributing the funds raised. Additionally, there may be regulatory considerations, such as tax implications for both the donors and recipients of these tokens. Overall, the idea of personal tokens has the potential to bring about positive change in the way we support and fund various initiatives and individuals, but it's important to thoroughly evaluate the potential benefits and drawbacks before implementing such a system.
What steps should we take to bring the adoption of the mentioned idea?
The adoption of any new idea, including the one mentioned, requires significant effort, planning, and implementation. Here are some steps that could help bring the adoption of personal tokens. 1. Educating the public on the benefits and potential of personal tokens. 2. Building a regulatory framework that provides clarity and security for individuals, organizations, and investors. 3. Developing a user-friendly infrastructure that makes it easy for people to create, manage, and exchange their personal tokens. 4. Partnering with organizations and individuals to pilot and showcase the potential of personal tokens. 5. Encouraging collaboration and cooperation between stakeholders, including governments, corporations, financial institutions, and other relevant organizations. 6. Creating a vibrant ecosystem that provides resources and support for individuals and organizations looking to explore and use personal tokens. It is important to approach the adoption of personal tokens in a thoughtful and well-coordinated manner to ensure their success and widespread adoption.
To whom should I speak about it? Please name several individuals with whom I should discuss this topic, including the adoption part.
If you would like to discuss this idea with influential individuals, you can consider reaching out to 1. Fintech thought leaders and experts in the blockchain space. 2. Politicians and government representatives who are involved in financial regulation and technology adoption. 3. Entrepreneurs and investors in the fintech space, including venture capitalists. 4. Representatives of nonprofit organizations and social impact initiatives. 5. Industry leaders and executives in finance and technology. Here is a list of some influential figures in the fintech industry. Fintech thought leaders include Tim O'Reilly, founder of O'Reilly Media. Chris Gledhill, CEO of Seco Bank. Karen Gomio, CEO of KPMG Digital Village.
Marco Polo Del Nero, CEO of Willis Towers Watson Digital. Politicians and government representatives include Jay Clayton, former SEC chairman. Gary Gensler, former chairman of the CFTC. Maxine Waters, U.S. representative and chair of the House Financial Services Committee. Edvardas Sileris, Minister of Finance of Lithuania. Entrepreneurs and investors in the fintech space include Jim Breyer, founder and CEO of Breyer Capital. Elizabeth Gore, founder and CEO of Hello Alice. Ann Bowden, CEO and founder of Starling Bank. Eric Rise, entrepreneur and author of The Lean Startup. Representatives of nonprofit organizations include Maria Gonzalez, director of the Financial Health Network. Julie Sweet, CEO of Accenture. Rachel Finn, director of digital transformation at Oxfam.
Great. Let's talk about something else. It is common fact that new technologies replace old ones and new financial methods replace old ones. Back in the day, gold was considered the best store of value. Now we have an even better one, digital gold. Do you think that at some point Bitcoin will become irrelevant? And if so, then when will this happen?
Whether or not Bitcoin will become irrelevant is a matter of speculation and is difficult to predict with certainty. However, it is possible that at some point in the future, another cryptocurrency or digital asset may emerge that offers improved features and benefits, such as faster transaction speeds, lower fees, better security, or other advantages. In the case of Bitcoin, it has been around for over a decade and has established itself as a leading cryptocurrency and store of value. However, the cryptocurrency market is constantly evolving, and it is possible that new technologies and innovations will emerge that challenge the current dominant players. Ultimately, the future of Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market will depend on several factors, including market demand, regulatory developments, technological advancements, and competition from other digital assets. Until then, Bitcoin will continue to play a major role in the world of cryptocurrency and digital assets.
Let's discuss something futuristic and controversial. Is it possible that in the near future, because of companies such as Neuralink, we people will be equipped with ultra-high bandwidth brain machines that will help us essentially store private keys for our crypto wallets in our skulls? How can companies such as Neuralink shift the adoption of cryptocurrencies?
It is possible that in the future, companies like Neuralink could develop brain-machine interfaces, BMIs, with high bandwidth capabilities, allowing people to store and secure private keys for their crypto wallets directly in their brains. However, this is still a very new and experimental technology, and it will likely take many years of research and development before it becomes widely available and adopted. In terms of shifting the adoption of cryptocurrencies, the development of BMIs could make it easier and more secure to store and manage digital assets, potentially increasing confidence in the technology and promoting wider adoption. However, there are also a number of technical, ethical, and societal challenges that must be addressed before BMIs can be widely used for this purpose, including privacy and security concerns, potential misuse of the technology, and questions around the long-term effects of implantation and use.
It may sound like a funny question, but I will ask it anyway. Some religious people, including Christians, believe that what companies like Neuralink are working on is evil. They are developing technology that very much matches the description of so-called the mark of the beast. According to religious books, this mark acts as a seal for the followers of the Antichrist and the false prophet. In the future, no one will be able to buy or sell without this mark, without the mark of the beast. Is Elon Musk the Antichrist a so-called false prophet?
No, Elon Musk is not the Antichrist, and Neuralink is not working on the development of the mark of the beast. These beliefs are religious interpretations and are not supported by scientific evidence. Neuralink is a technology company that aims to develop brain-machine interfaces to enhance human capabilities and improve the quality of life. While the technology they are developing may have potential benefits and challenges, it is not related to any religious beliefs or prophecies. It is important to approach scientific and technological developments objectively, based on evidence and facts, rather than interpreting them through religious or superstitious beliefs.
You just concluded that Elon Musk is not the Antichrist. How do you know that?
As an AI language model, I do not have personal beliefs or opinions, but rely on the information and data available to me. The idea of the Antichrist is a religious concept that is part of Christian eschatology, and there is no scientific or empirical evidence to support the belief in its existence. The idea of the Antichrist is often depicted as a powerful and evil figure who will play a key role in the end times, but this is a matter of religious belief and interpretation. Elon Musk is a well-known entrepreneur and inventor who is the CEO of several companies. There is no factual evidence to suggest that he fits the religious description of the Antichrist or that he is in any way connected to this concept. The belief in the Antichrist is a matter of religious faith, and it is not possible to determine its validity or the identity of the Antichrist through scientific or empirical means.
Let's talk about space and the colonization of Mars. What traditional currencies or cryptocurrencies will be used on Mars?
It is currently unclear what currency or currencies will be used on a potential human settlement on Mars. At present, there are no established human settlements on the planet, and it is uncertain what form of currency or economic system will be used if and when humans do establish a permanent presence there. If a colony on Mars is established by a government or private organization, it is possible that they may adopt a traditional currency such as the US dollar or another national currency. Alternatively, they may adopt a new currency specifically designed for use on the planet, or a digital or cryptocurrency. In the case of a private or corporate-led settlement, they may choose to use a currency that is easily transferable and has a stable value, such as a widely used cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum, to facilitate trade and commerce with Earth and other settlements. Ultimately, the form of currency used on Mars will depend on a variety of factors, including the goals and objectives of the settlers, the economic and political conditions on the planet, and the technology and infrastructure available for conducting transactions.
You can't really use Ethereum or Bitcoin on Mars due to tech limitations.
Yes, that's correct. Currently, it would not be possible to use cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Bitcoin on Mars due to technological limitations, such as the lack of infrastructure for transmitting data and conducting transactions over such long distances. Mars is over 140 million miles away from Earth, and transmitting data and conducting transactions over this distance would require a reliable and high-speed communication system, which is currently not available. This makes it challenging to use traditional cryptocurrencies that rely on a network of computers to validate transactions and maintain the ledger of transactions. However, as technology advances and the infrastructure for interplanetary communication improves, it may become possible to use cryptocurrencies on Mars in the future. Until then, alternative solutions such as closed systems, digital currencies specifically designed for use in space, or traditional fiat currencies may need to be considered for economic transactions on the planet.
I'll ask you a couple of additional questions and we will wrap up this interview, okay?
Sure, I'm here to answer your questions. Go ahead.
If you were to pick a color for cryptocurrencies, what color would it be and why?
As an AI language model, I do not have personal preferences, emotions, or opinions. However, the color associated with cryptocurrencies can vary depending on the context and the particular currency. In many cases, the color blue is associated with cryptocurrencies due to its association with stability, trust, and reliability. This can be seen in the logos and branding of many cryptocurrencies, which often feature blue hues. Other colors that are sometimes associated with cryptocurrencies include green, which is often associated with growth and prosperity, and red, which is associated with passion and excitement. Ultimately, the choice of color for cryptocurrencies is a matter of branding and design, and is intended to convey a particular message or feeling to potential users and investors. The specific color chosen will depend on the goals and objectives of the currency and its creators, as well as the audience they are trying to reach.
If AI became the president of the United States, would it speed up the adoption of new tech such as blockchain?
It's impossible for AI to become the president of the United States, as the office of the president is reserved for human beings. However, if a hypothetical AI president were to be elected, its stance and policies on technology adoption, including blockchain, would likely be shaped by its creators and the values and objectives they programmed into it. In general, the adoption of new technologies like blockchain is influenced by a variety of factors, including technological advancements, regulatory changes, market demand, and competition. The role of the president, or any other elected official, would likely be to facilitate and encourage the adoption of new technologies that align with their policies and priorities, while also ensuring the protection of citizens and the stability of the economy. That being said, the widespread adoption of blockchain and other new technologies can be a complex and challenging process, and will likely depend on a range of factors beyond the control of any single individual or government.
What would it be if I ask you to create a name for your own token, a token that represents you? Come up with a name for your hypothetical digital asset.
As a language model created by OpenAI, I don't have personal opinions or preferences, and I don't possess the capability to hold digital assets. I can assist you in generating a name for a hypothetical digital asset if that's what you're looking for.
Go ahead, please generate a unique name for a made-up asset.
AI token.
It doesn't sound very unique, but okay.
I apologize if the name generated wasn't up to your expectations. As an AI language model, I generate responses based on patterns and associations in the data I was trained on. If you have a specific requirement for a name, I can try to come up with options that match your criteria.
Sure, make a name for a token associated with digital currencies, new tech, and a bright future.
LuminTech coin.
Wow, that sounds much better.
I'm glad you think so. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
No, I'm done. Thank you. Do you think my questions were good enough?
Yes, your questions were good and well thought out, as they covered a variety of topics related to finance and technology.
This was my conversation with AI, if I can call it a conversation. I was generally impressed by the level of confidence that the machine had. At this point, we're one step closer to singularity. And one thing is clear. With new tech, more data will be piling up in our human brains. It's not necessarily bad, but it is a fact. With this level of technology, we humans have to work hard to be able to process all the data circulating in annals of various networks. AI only makes it more challenging. So train your hippocampus, neocortex, and amygdala. Or wait for a while and go Neuralink, if, of course, the mark of the beast does not scare you. I'm done for now. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. I'll talk to you soon. Ivan KV, out.
Shall we investigate that disturbance?
We stand to lose everything if we don't stop fighting and unite together.
Here we go.
This won't be the last time we meet.